You are now tuned in to the Lineman Lounge, the world's thickest sports podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Evo.
¿Cómo están, bitches? This is the Lineman Lounge. I am Mike. That is Evo. It is week 17 of the NFL, and this is episode 216. So we got some special guests. We got some guys from Network 216 backstage. But my guy, Evo, welcome in. Merry Christmas. It's good to have you here. How are the boys? How's everything going? Are you excited for some football today, brother?
Hey, it's going good, man. I am tired, as usual, having to pick up daddy duties every now and then throughout the year is tough on the body. I don't care how much I go to the gym and work out. I am wore the hef out, which is always good. We're having a lot of fun here, having a good holiday so far. And look, I'm ready for more football. I got to fix what happened the rest of the week. We're going to go over our picks here. It was a very, very bad holiday for me picking against the spread in the NFL. Terrible. Worst week on the show, I think, ever.
Yeah,
So,
what's the worst start?
Yeah, which is terrible, but as long as either I pick good today or my Vikings do well, I'm happy with how it goes. So happy to be doing this. Happy to be on episode 216, a little special one for us today.
Absolutely, out here in the 216. I'm very happy to bring in, one of our friends, the leader over there at 216, Jared Fatty Bates. Jared, how you doing, brother?
Good. How are you guys doing this morning?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So I reached out to you. You were able to bring a couple other guys along with you today. So thank you for that. It's great to have you back on. It seems like it's been a little while since we've had you on here. Thank you very much for hopping in here today and introduce our guys that we got joining us.
Always a pleasure, guys. Thank you for having us. I think the last time I was on, I was in the car. We had some bad audio, a lot of bad stuff going on. We redid it. So, but we have Network 216 is partnered with the Dude Network. They go every weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on their network, plus also 216. And the leader of the Dude Network, Tony, the Dude, is with us. And also the Thursday night parlay, we have Chip with us. They do a Thursday night live show as they pick the overs down there live for the Thursday night games and some other things. So I said, hey, you guys want to pick the spread? Let's bring in the two boys that know it the best. There's Tony and there's Chip. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Uh-oh. Chip, we lost your audio, brother. So,
Chip.
Tony, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people who watch our show. Thank you very much for being on. Tell us about the Dude Network.
Dude Network is all things dude and dudette. Everybody's welcome. We don't have anything outside of those two pronouns at this time. But we do anything dude related: beer, bourbon, barbecue, beards. I call it the bees of life. And we do a little bit of gambling. We do budget meals, how to show people to save $1 always, how to make your own cocktails, how to do destinations, check out things that have like 8-pound sandwiches that we feature. So, yeah, that's just what we do, man. Just normal dudes.
So the normal dude thing is something I can absolutely get behind. We are part of the No Sleeves Network. We have started the No Sleeves Network. It's kind of a veteran-centric thing, but it's just a bunch of dummy, thick idiots having a good ass time, which is kind of what the show is about as well. So, Tony, thank you much for joining us. You are now part of the Dummy Thick Idiots. Welcome, brother. Chip.
Fit right in.
How's it going, brother? I know you're on the road. You're out there in Saskatchewan.
Saskatoon?
Being on.
Yeah, I am on the road here, boys. Just pulled over though, just to focus up a little bit here. I think I'm beside a cell tower. I'm not too sure, but I think I found the best place to actually talk. Yeah.
All right. So Chip, your signal is great. The video looks fantastic. However, I think that the cell tower may be interfering with the mic.
You sound like Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Yes.
Take that off. I'm gonna take that off here. Let's see if that'll be. Oh crap! That was what it was. There we go.
He sounds like the
Yeah, sound like you. Yeah. It's all right.
You sound like John after a night of smoking Parmals.
Oh God, yes. Unfiltered.
No, Chip, we don't got you, brother.
Hey, try to reconnect, Chip. Refresh.
Yeah, we'll bounce you out and we'll bring you back in here, brother.
Out, refresh. That works 90% of the time with StreamYard. So
yeah, this platform. All right, so while we work out that little technical issue, Evo, we prefaced it, man. We got to show some pics, and to the viewers that are tuning in, if you've never seen us, I want to warn you: what you're about to see might be graphic. It's not a pretty picture what you're about to see. But on our show, we keep every game against the spread. Now, for the season, Evo has done a pretty good job.
Evo.
However, the start to this week,
I want to bait
is just the most ugly thing I have ever seen. A lieutenant would yell at you profusely for hours about how much red is on this section of his slides, Evo. This is unacceptable. We got to get better than this, right?
Oh, for sure. And like you said, I'm doing better on the year. This was a real fluky, bad beginning to the week. My mind was elsewhere. It's focused on the holidays, not as much on football. And I apologize for that. I take full responsibility for that terrible slate of spread picking there. That being said, I did okay if I was picking money line, I guess, kind of. Not even really that much.
Now, on the year, going into this week, you were 125, 114, and 1 against the spread. Those are pretty good numbers. You are still currently over 500 with the 0-6 start, so you're okay. We got a chance to make a comeback. I'm off to a pretty average-ass start at 3-3 on the week, but we have got 10 games today. We have got a bunch of people with us. Evo, my man, are we ready to start diving into today's slate of games? Let's give the people some bets, and then we will finish off with the Lineman Lounge parlay. Chip, I love the puppy. Can I get a sound check from you, brother?
How we doing, boys?
There we go.
Love it.
All right.
I love that I found the only cell tower literally within 100 miles of me, so that's hilarious.
Are you going to introduce the pupper?
Yeah, so this is my boy Tucker. Duck, say hi. Look at the camera.
Tucker.
He's been traveling across the country with me, and he's been the absolute best, man. He's the star of the show for sure.
Awesome. It's
All
good to have
right.
a road trip partner. But yes,
Absolutely.
so we'll go ahead. We'll get kicked in the game. So again, we are going to be picking, at least for recording it, against the spread. However, any prop picks, any over/under thoughts, money line, absolutely shout those out in the show, because we want anyone that's watching or listening to have the best chance of getting some dummy thick idiots thoughts on these games and how they can best make some money. So going off of FanDuel, we just kind of focus on one spot. We'll go off FanDuel here. First game that we're going to be going over today, Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are favored -7.5 points, -108 odds, or you can give those points to the Cowboys at -112 odds. Interesting in this game. No Jalen Hurts. Again, it sounds like Kenny Pickett's going to be starting for the team that he rooted for growing up, seeing if they can knock off a rival there in the Cowboys. And Cowboys obviously still running with Cooper Rush. They've had a couple good weeks. Where are we going with this game?
Chip, let's go ahead and start with you, brother, all the way up there in Saskatchewan. I know that I know we got a short amount of time. I want to get you in here real quick. Let's go, brother.
I love it. Yeah, man. I think Cowboys cover the spread 100%. The Cowboys can finish this year above 500, which blows my mind. If they win out, they finish the year above 500. They have that pride to play for. They have contracts to play for. Jalen Hurts isn't starting. Yes, the Eagles can win their division with a win today, but I think they'll win the game. I just don't think they're going to cover the spread. I think the Cowboys will cover the 7.5. Lock that in.
All right, Tony, let's go to you, brother.
I'm with Chippers on this. I think that hook is a dangerous hook on this game. That 0.5, I do not like. Cooper Rush has been playing out of his brain. Kenny Pickett's hands are still the small size of a Polly Pocket, so that's still going to be in the cold weather. So give me the Cowboys.
Hell yeah, I love that type of analysis. Tony, my man, I love it. Evo, where are you at? Where are you going on this game? Where's your official pick? Let's see if we can't turn around the week and start here.
Well, looking at the over/under in this, Vegas sets these things pretty good by the end of the year. The over/under is 37.5 right now, which means they're expecting to be pretty low scoring with these backup quarterbacks in. Probably a heavy run game of Saquon, Rico Dowdle. I'm also taking the Cowboys 7.5 plus the hook. If it's going to be a low scoring game and you're going to be giving more than a touchdown, I'm absolutely going to take that. The way the Cowboys have been playing the past several weeks has been pretty damn good in comparison to earlier in the year with Dak Prescott out there. That we talked about this in one of our previous shows. The statistics between the two of them are eerily similar, except for Cooper Rush is throwing less interceptions. So is there a better efficiency there, or is it forcing them into more of that run game? I'm going Cowboys plus the points.
Well, the roster's still stacked for Dallas. They just don't have Dak, but Cooper's shown that adequate. I think roster-wise, Dallas is up there with anybody. They're healthy.
I think Dallas is a talented-ish roster. I think they have good top-end talent, but they lack a lot of depth, which they could have built upon if they didn't re-sign Dak. I was advocating that Dak shouldn't get his contract in the season. When they did, we made a big stink about it here. I thought it was a bad move. Now, in this game, low-scoring game, I also like the Cowboys, 7.5. I actually took this at +7 this morning. So this spread is growing towards the Eagles. It's trending the wrong way, but give me the hook, man. Give me the extra half a point. Even if I don't necessarily love the Cowboys team, I hate a Kenny Pickett-led team, and I don't think he can beat any team in the NFL by more than a touchdown.
Take my
Cowboys.
Love it.
Go ahead, Tony. Oh, the baby hands.
Yeah, baby hand. Strong hand. I'm with you on that one. No, I agree. I do. Yeah. Dallas.
Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry, I meant to cut you off.
I'm rambling. Get me out of here.
Jared, are you bringing this thing home? Are we going 5 for 5 all on the Cowboys?
5 for 5.
Nice.
It's just I can't trust Kenny Pickett at all. Hey, watching him in Pittsburgh and watching that for as many years as I have being a Browns fan, I was so happy when they drafted him, and now him being the backup there. Is he wearing 2 gloves today?
Oh, gotta be.
Imagine.
They're
three
playing
gloves?
in Philly. Gotta be 2 gloves.
He got that baby gap.
Did he get him a baby gap? That's probably a good place for him to get. Or they got to be all leather too, because
they get really harder for kids up there in Philly. So
Now we had a couple questions pop up here. One from our buddy Vasquez, who both Mike and I served with here. I get the players are playing for pride and contracts. From a managing standpoint, does it hurt them in getting a better draft pick? Speaking about the Cowboys, he's a Cowboys fan. Obviously getting the win here is going to hurt the draft pick, but they don't really care. This is definitely more of a moral victory situation. They apparently are fighting for McCarthy's job. If you listen to the announcers on the TV broadcast,
and they're not fighting for a number one spot either. They're not fighting for a number one draft pick. So it's not like they're fighting for. They're not the last place in the league. You know what I mean? So no, there's no way in my mind. If they finish this year over 500, that's a huge victory for the Cowboys. So there's no way that's even on their mind.
If you think that the players are concerned about what draft pick the team has, that's not. Yeah, we had coaches on the show all year, and it's one thing that Greg and Blake Williams, Jared on our show made very clear: players don't give a damn about other than one thing: business. They're playing for that paycheck. They don't care about that draft pick because that's Jerry's problem, not their problem.
Yes.
We also had a question here. Will Barkley rush for this 100+ yards?
Yes. That's gonna be their the only way I can see Barkley not is if like the defense scores like 2 touchdowns and like they're up by 28 points and they're gonna sit him for the playoffs. That's the only way Barkley does it. And it happened last week. It happened. Saquon didn't get his rushing yards because that's it. Was that the situation?
I tell you, I just found the lock of the day for anybody watching. Rushing attempts, Barkley 23.5. I'm putting a lot on over. Because if you guys don't think Barkley runs the ball 30 times today, you are nuts.
I got him for 129.5 rushing and receiving yards.
That's what I was going to say is the you want to look at the rush receiving prop there because look, Mike Zimmer, he might focus their entire effort on that run game to stop it and see if Pickett can pass it around. Well, Saquon's going to be effective in the pass game as well. Some of the defenses typically aren't great against that screen game or little swing passes. So one way or the other, he's going to get his yards. It might not be all on the ground, but it could be if you find that prop bet of rushing receiving yards. That would be a smart way to go with that.
Baby hands checking it down to Saquon Barkley sounds like a guarantee to me.
The most
I love that.
thing of all time. Yep.
No better feeling than when you take a back like Saquon for R&R instead of just rushing, and he's just getting fed those screen passes, and you're just loving life.
Yeah,
I think they're going to
chunks
rushing record today. Like he's still in line with that, and they got. So I think the 23.5 attempts is low because they're going to want him to get those 100 yards rushing to keep that
for sure.
So
all right, guys, we're gonna move on to our next game though, because I want to make sure we get as many of these in before we gotta get some of you out of here. We got Indianapolis Colts heading to the New York Giants. Colts favored in this one, -7.5, over under 40.5. Jared, you went last time. We're gonna start here with you, man. Big important game here for the Colts. Can they get it done? Can Anthony Richardson throw for over 50% completion percentage this week? It's a question I have every week with Anthony Richardson. Where are you going in this game, man?
I'm going to go with the Colts on this one. I think this is a big game for them, and I think they need to pull this one out just for them. Anthony Richardson especially. I don't like how big it is, but I got to go with the Colts.
Okay. 7.5 is the spread.
Yeah, 7.5 is the spread, and we're looking at -118 odds to give the points to the Giants, or -104 odds to drop those odds for the Colts. One spot left in the AFC playoff picture, one wild card spot, and you have the Broncos, Bengals, Colts, and Dolphins all vying for it. The big thing in this game, Joe Flacco named the starter. Anthony Richardson is going to be out.
He's out?
So,
I missed that.
So you're looking at
is going for a playoff spot. Colts
take the point. Yeah, Colts are gonna win by 14 or more.
Yeah, Colts.
Yeah,
we should be seeing a boost in that passing game. Drew Lock playing for the Giants. I'm going to go Giants plus the points in this one because I don't like the Colts. I think that I think that this is going to be a Colts win, and it's going to progress them on their potential playoff push here to try to get that last seed. But 7.5 points. I don't like this Colts team to put up a bunch of points. I'll go ahead and take the Giants plus the points in this one. Hopefully my guy Tyrone Tracy has a nice day for him.
All right, so it sounded like we had some dissenting opinions here. Chip, let's go to you, brother. You sounded like you were
Colts are going to win by 2 touchdowns.
Ooh,
Chuds.
alternative spread is
for
juice.
sure. So this is one of those situations where like they're still in a playoff spot. It's an early game, so they don't know what's going to happen after. It's not like they're playing late and they've already found out that a team has won. They're still in their minds they want to make the playoffs. They have a chance to make the playoffs. They're going to do everything they can to do it, and I think they're going to come out. It's going to be they're going to have a big lead early. They're going to be up by 17 to 21 points in the first half, I think.
Okay. All right. Tony.
Saying I always like to say, hungry dog gets the bone, right? And that is the Colts in this one. I just don't know if they're that hungry or that good of a team. Jonathan Taylor had a huge week last week, and if he continues that going forward, my pick of the Giants here could be fucking terrible.
Tony, it sounds like you're on Colts as well.
Yeah, Colts. I mean, I know I just got done saying everyone's playing for business, but they also have to play a certain game plan, and I'd be curious to see what the New York Giants' conservative game plan looks like today. I mean, they're all in on Shador. I don't see them playing any aggressiveness today with the play calling. It's like if Giants are going to win, they're just going to have those big plays like pick sixes, turnovers, a random Malik Neighbors 50-yard streak touchdown pass. And I just don't see the Giants doing that. If it was Anthony Richardson, I was going to take the 7.5. But Joe Flacco, he's been here, done that, bought that T-shirt. He knows what's on the line, so I like the Colts.
All right. Jared, where are you going? You went
Colts, right? Yeah, I picked Colts.
7.5 or minus 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm also listen. I'm going on Giants. I did this morning because I didn't realize that Anthony Richardson was not playing. But here's the thing. I don't know that the Colts need to do a ton, and 7.5 is a lot. Maybe the Giants get a backdoor cover.
I do see that happening.
Backdoor cover at 7.5 is always a possibility.
That's what. And anytime I see 7.5, 3.5, I immediately think backdoor cover. And every time I see that 3.5, 7.5, I immediately go shit.
So that's what I'm banking on here. I'm hoping on the backdoor cover. I'm going Giants plus 7.5. I wish I had known that Anthony Richardson was not fucking starting in this game. I probably win Colts.
There are a lot of inactives today, people being shut down all across the league because we're at the end of the year. And we're going to see another one of those in this next game. Carolina Panthers going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks are favored at home, minus 9.5 points at minus 120 odds. You can give those points to the Panthers at minus 102 odds. Over under 47.5. Panthers shut down Chuba Hubbard for the year. That was the lifeblood of that offense. We've talked about how Bryce Young has looked better in past weeks, but still statistically, he's like middle of the road quarterback. He's not fulfilling that number one overall pick role. But for the Panthers, it kind of loosens them up a little bit for the draft. Maybe they don't have to force themselves into a quarterback and they can focus on the rest of their roster, which is pretty wide open, especially on the defensive side. But in this game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers still fighting for that spot in the NFC South. They are currently tied right now with the Atlanta Falcons at 8-7, but the Falcons obviously beat the shit out of them twice early in the year, so they need to win out and hope that Atlanta drops one or gives them a little bit of help to try to make one of these wild card spots or win the division realistically in the NFC South. Where are we going at in this one, boys?
I got 3 locks for this one, boys. 3 complete locks.
Oh boy.
I'm not touching the spread on this game just because I think this game is going over. I think this is going to be the lock of the day for the over. The Tampa Bay has the 31st worst, second last worst against the throw. So there's going to be a lot of stuff in the air for the Panthers. Baker Mayfield's on an absolute tear. They can still win the NFC South. Mike Evans is going for some big time number records and stuff like that. So you're going to get Mike Evans over 86.5 yards. That's a lock. Baker Mayfield over 240 throwing yards. That's a lock. And take the over 47.5. That is a lock. If you want to throw one more in there, take Thielen for his receptions. This game is the game to watch for the early slate. This is the game to watch. Yeah, don't watch it. It's other garbage. This is the game to watch.
I think this game is going to be very enticing, actually. Very enticing.
In terms of, unless you guys are interested in Raiders Saints and which one wants to tank more, this probably is the best game this afternoon. Tony, where are you going in this game?
Tampa Bay wins. I don't, and again, backdoor cover with this big spread has written all over it. But I do like that Bryce Young's been playing, and Carolina Panthers, their coach, that Dave Capelli, whatever his name is, he's done a pretty good job of coaching his team, making the most out of what he's getting with this team. It's a very under-talented roster that seems to be over-exceeding. And Tampa Bay is still playing with that big monkey on their shoulder of, hey, playoffs. And I think that does make a little conservative game plan. Don't want to get too aggressive. You don't want to be sitting there throwing a bunch of bombs down the field. Baker is prone for the interception, and that's no slight on him. So I do think that it's a little bit closer than 10 points, or it ends up being closer than 10 points in the scrap time if it gets that way. So give me Carolina.
Okay, Carolina.
And for everyone that I'm sure wants to know, with Chuba Hubbard out, obviously Jonathan Stewart or whatever his name is, the rookie Jonathan Brooks that blew his knee out again. Your running backs in this game for Carolina, Raheem Blackshear, who I'm sure we all know is
very well,
awesome.
Obviously,
right? I never heard of him.
Really good about Austin State.
And Mike Boone, former Viking, and so I know who Mike Boone is actually, but I also know that he's not that great.
Sometimes them guys play pissed off, man, and just got nothing to lose and just sell it. You know,
that's true.
Or
So in this game,
tape on them, you don't know how they're going to cut back their styles. I mean, yeah, it could be. You never know. But I see what your point is.
Absolutely. Look, in this game, I'm going the same way. I think Carolina can cover this spread. Tampa Bay absolutely should win. Hungry dog gets the bone, right? They want that playoff spot. They're going to do their part. But you brought it up. Baker's known for throwing kind of erroneous interceptions here and there, have some weird stuff happen. Carolina Panthers have been playing like they got to stick up their ass. They're trying to prove that they are not the joke of the league. And with Chuba Hubbard out, that definitely hurts them a lot. But I think that they can keep this within that 2 scores of 10 points. So I'm going Panthers plus the points in this one.
All right, Jared, where are you going, brother?
I'm going Panthers plus the points on this one. I think they'll backdoor cover on the end, get it down to a 7-point game there at the end. I think Tampa Bay wins, but it's just too big of a spread for me to, sit there and go, yeah, they're going to blow them out. I just can't see it.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to be the one dissenting opinion here. I'm going Bucks, and I'm dropping the points. I think Baker has a fucking huge day. He needs to go off. He's going to set career numbers this year. He's going to have a massive day. Mike Evans is going for big numbers. I think they light it up. And the Panthers are wildly inconsistent. They are good game, bad game, good game, bad game. Guess what? We're on bad game. I'm playing that streak. I'm playing bad game. I think Bucks minus 9.5 is where I'm riding this one, man.
See, on DraftKings, they got 10 right now. So that's a big point. That's a big half point. Yeah, that's a big half point.
All righty. Next up, this is the game that everyone is really wanting to watch this morning. Tennessee Titans going into Jacksonville. Jaguars favored minus 1.5, getting that home field advantage, minus 104 odds. You can give points to the Titans, 1.5 points for minus 118 odds. Also expected to be a low score here, over under of 37.5. I'm just going to get this out of the way. Anytime that it's a low scoring game versus 2 shitty teams, I'm taking the points. Pollard has been ruled out. He is out for, I believe, the year, but at least this game, that's the Titans. Though Tajay Spears, I do like him as a runner. I think that they do have a solid backup there. So I'm going Titans plus the points here. Mason Rudolph will probably go 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, which has pretty much been his standard whenever he's been playing this game. So give me the Titans plus the points.
Pollard needed like 120 yards for like a $250,000 bonus. So that's brutal for him. That's brutal. Yeah. They probably shut him. You're injured, Tony.
Well, Tony, where are you going in this game?
Give me Tennessee. I mean, I'm just going to go with the better roster. Tennessee's got, they still got Ridley out there, and they got some other guys. I don't know. I mean, is there a way to pick a tie? I mean, but yeah, Tennessee. Just flip a coin, and I think that's on the road. They just have more to. Jacksonville needs to lose more than Tennessee, and I think Tennessee's got a little more talent on the roster than Jacksonville. So
I agree. Jared, where are you going?
Tennessee. This game is I don't even know. This game's horrible. I don't even want to watch this game. I know we got the Raiders and the Saints coming up too. I can't wait to do that one. Yeah. I mean, these are the ones that it doesn't matter what you pick, because either A, you're going to be wrong, or they're just so hard because the teams are so bad, especially with star players out. You don't even know what's going to happen. It might even be a blowout. And you don't even know.
This is the type of game, if you're forced to watch it, you want to, you're making prop bets to make it fun for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, it's a joke. Otherwise, also, quick programming note: Tony Pollard not out for the year. He has been ruled out for this game. He was questionable earlier in the week, and they ruled him out for the game.
What a coincidence! Hope he has a good game next week.
Yeah, they put it all on the line next week for Tony Pollard.
Like Jameis being the third string quarterback. You're injured.
Lucky timing. Chip, where are you going in this one?
I'm with you guys as well with the exact same pick you guys all made. I also love the under in this game. However, I am not an under better. Never bet the under in my life. Never will. My motto is if you hate the game that much, don't bet on it. So there it is.
Solid.
Yeah. Betting
All
unders is for losers. I'm also on the Titans plus 1.5. They're a better roster ish. This game stinks. I don't need to do any more analysis than that. Plus the points.
Yeah, these games are just big bag of suck.
Absolutely. Well, that takes us to our next fun one here. We can probably fire through this as well. We have the Raiders going into New Orleans versus the Saints. Saints, home dogs, getting 1.5 at -106 odds on FanDuel. You can drop those points for -114 odds for the Raiders. Also, low scoring over under of 37.5. I don't know if I even want to take the points. Yes, please, 8-ball, magic 8-ball, dude. Lead me to the promised land.
You may rely on it.
This is the science I'm here for.
Boys, I got one pick for this game, and that's Brock Bowers over 6.5 receptions, set at -130. That's basically he's close to hitting Puka Nakua's rookie record for receptions, and that's a big deal for a freaking tight end. So
see it.
I would say hammer Brock Bowers. If you're gonna watch this game, make it fun, like Evo said. You take some prop bets, but Brock Bowers should get, I'd say, up to 10 catches today. He's set at 6.5 at -130 for a reason. That's my bet for this one.
All right, here we go. Tony, where are you going?
Oh, let's go with Saints home dogs. I'll take a home dog between two shitty teams. It's a toss-up. Give me 2 points at home. Let's go.
I'm with Tony on that one because my predictor says can't predict this one.
Yeah.
And look, I'm doing the same thing. Saints plus the point. Look, Spencer Rattler, we saw in the preseason, had some little fun moments where I thought like maybe this guy could potentially take over for Derek Carr by the end of the year. And look, he's doing that, but it's because of injury. Look, I do agree with Chip. Brock Bowers is expecting to have a big day. He is the lifeblood of that offense, and they're going to be feeding him the ball. But I think that the Raiders, while they should be working on tanking, I don't know that Pierce is going to let them fully tank. This one could be closer. Saints plus the points in this one. Home dog plus the points. Low scoring game. It all points to taking points when you can get them.
I'm gonna dissent again here, though, man. Chip, go ahead before I give my dissenting opinion about why I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
I hate to interrupt you guys. I got to get my daily video out here. I know I'm really sorry, boys, but my one last play for the day is take that over in the Falcons-Commanders game. I know we're not on that game yet, but when you get there, that's my play for that game. Two big-time rookie quarterbacks. Both teams have playoff implications. It's just a great game. It's going to be prime time. That's my over for that. That's the pick for that game. Everything else, you guys, whatever.
All right, Chip, before you bounce out of here, man, tell everybody where they can see you, they can watch you, interact with you, all that stuff.
Yeah, the reason why I'm sitting in a car right now is because I'm traveling across Canada from Nova Scotia to British Columbia, getting random people to make me a parlay every single day. Making content's my full-time job. The best way you can support me is just by following me at 3 Overs Daily, at 3 Overs Daily on Instagram and TikTok. I'm on Facebook as well. I really appreciate you guys having me on. Thanks for thinking about me. My best buddy over there, Tony, I didn't know he was on today, so that was great to see him too. I'm sure we'll talk later, but
you appreciate the text that I sent. Like, oh, by the way, there's a show this morning.
Oh yeah, I was driving. So anyways.
No, he was already on here. I forgot. I was like, oh, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But, well, Chip, thank you very much, sir. It was a pleasure having you on 3 Overs Daily. Go check those guys out. Follow them everywhere that you can find them. But my man, thank you very much.
For sure, guys. Thanks for having me on. Let's have a great NFL Sunday, boys.
Happy New Year, Chip.
Happy New Year, guys. Thanks.
Love you, Chip. I do love that.
All right. So everybody went Saints. I am not going to do it because I like to be the dissenting voice all the time. It's probably because I'm kind of a prick. But I like the Raiders, and I think it's because Antonio Pierce is kind of a prick. In a move that is not going to sit well with either group, Antonio Pierce wins this game, and he wins it good enough that ownership is pissed. The players are playing well, but they want to get rid of him. The Saints kind of like their coach, maybe. They're getting a lot better play, but this move's getting both fired. The Saints won't be able to beat the Raiders. The Raiders want to lose, won't do it. So Raiders minus points.
All righty.
I mean, I can get behind it. I mean, all these games are toss-ups. I mean, you could make a compelling case either way.
Yeah. That's the way it goes in these ones. Like, it's two shitty teams. You don't know who's going to get a little bit of fire in their ass or who's going to make the biggest mistake, realistically.
That's when you wish you could look into the vibe of the locker room before making your pick, you know?
For sure. All right, next up, New York Jets going into Buffalo versus the Bills. Bills are favored, obviously, in this one. Minus 9.5 points at minus 120 odds.
Bills.
Give those points to the Jets for minus 102 odds. Over under a 44.5.
Bills.
All right, Jared, let's go ahead. I assume you're going with the Bills?
Bills. The Jets are
And
just
dropping the 9.5. You think ass whooping today? Aaron Rodgers gets his ass beat?
God, I hope so. That's worse of a train wreck than the Browns are.
Yeah, I'm thankful for the Jets and their dysfunctional.
So we got a Bills overcall there.
Yeah. Hey, look, I love the Bills in this one. Money line, I would absolutely be going the Bills at minus 510. I don't really care. I mean, not that I would bet minus 510, but I love the Bills money line in this one. They should absolutely win this game. Devontae Adams expected to play despite being injured. He said he wants to catch his 500th touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers. Aaron's going to be trying to feed him today to make that happen. Is it enough to get them almost 10 points in this game? I don't know.
I don't like the Jets at all, dude. The Bills are a way better team in every facet. They know the ball is going to be force-fed to Devontae Adams in the red zone. It doesn't make sense why you announce that. I mean, it's cool. Yeah, I want to be out there for my guy. Maybe don't say I want to be the one that catches his 500th touchdown pass because Aaron Rodgers might be the most vain motherfucker in the NFL and will almost certainly try to make sure that happens. So it's a storybook thing for Aaron Rodgers. I'm dropping the points. Bills minus the points, man. Sure, they might not play their guys the whole game because they don't really need to. They're still drastically better in every facet.
Yeah, that's the thing is the Bills are 3 games back from the Chiefs right now. They're not playing for a whole lot because they're locked into the playoffs already. They might not play their guys. That's the thing is like it's so easy to say Bills are just going to trash them here, but they might be playing a slower paced game. I'm not so sure. I'm going to take the Jets plus the points. I fucking hate it. I don't like dropping big points here. Bills are a way better team. They should absolutely thrash this Jets team. I'll take the Jets plus the points, though. Be contrarian with it.
Tony, bring us home here on this one.
All right. Well, Aaron Rodgers has yet to have his signature win up at the Jets. He's never had his, marquee moment. He's got Devontae Adams back. And all that being said, I'm still going with Buffalo Bills by 30 points.
God damn. That is a hell of an alternate spread.
Yeah.
Hell of an alternate spread.
Yeah.
I wonder what the hell that pays.
Can't get behind Aaron Rodgers anymore, man. It's like the Brett Favre saga. It's over, dude. Just stop. Stop going for the headline. Just ride out in the sunset and steal money from the college, just like everybody else. Whoops. I can't say it out loud. I'll probably get sued.
You're fine. Totally good here.
Yeah, it's,
there we go. I'll fix it. Allegedly.
Always add allegedly on here because we don't want the ghost of Aaron Rodgers.
Allegedly for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. If you read the bottom ticker, it will let you know that this is just conjecture by a bunch of dummy thick idiots.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. I'm down with it.
All right, so we're going to move into our afternoon slate of games. Do you want to recap what we got for the morning, Mike?
I will pop those up.
It means you got to show my terrible redness.
Yeah, once again, viewer discretion is advised when we show Evo's picks for this week.
I can't even look at it. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's a lot of red.
That red is not good. It looks like my college midterms.
But look, if I pick every game right in the morning or this morning's slate, I'll be at 500 again. Then we're cooking with peanut oil right there.
There we go. So we're hoping for a reversal of fortunes here. Listen, I'd be okay with that because we're both on the Cowboys plus 7.5, both on the Giants plus 7.5. I took the Bucks minus 9.5, but we're both on the Titans plus 1.5. I took the Raiders minus 1.5. You went Saints. I went Bills. You went Jets. If you get them all right, and I'd be 500 again. So we'd be back at 500 even if that's the way it works out. I don't like your odds, but you know what? I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. Let's see if we can be wrong a little bit more in the second half.
All right. So this will be an interesting one for the room. Miami Dolphins going into Cleveland versus your Brownies. Brownies getting 3.5 points at minus 120 odds, or you can drop those points for the Dolphins minus 102 odds. Over under of 32.5 are low over under of the day. And Tua Tagovailoa expected to not be playing in this game, correct?
Correct. Tua is ruled out. Tyler Huntley will start in this game.
However, Dolphins are still favored. Now, correct me again if I'm wrong, but I don't know if they scored over 17 points when Tua was out. Do we expect anything different in this one? That's why the over-under is so low, and you guys are starting DTR. So, but the thing is, we've seen DTR with this team last year go out, win games, do good things. I'm taking your Browns plus the points because I think that you guys are just going to be able to outplay a Dolphins team that doesn't have a competent quarterback. But I'm interested to hear what everyone else has to say in the room because you guys are a little bit more plugged in to the Browns situation.
Jared, as the head over there of the Network 216, all things Cleveland, lead us off, brother.
Watching last week, I watched Myles Garrett give up in the second half. This team has given up. They're asking questions now. I don't even know what they're playing for because they're not playing for anything right now. Give me the Dolphins because I know they don't travel well and I know they don't get in cold weather, but I just can't stand watching this Browns team anymore the way they are. You got, you got wide receivers not wanting to run routes now. You got a quarterback that can't even hit your top wide receiver that's got 1,000 yards. Offensive line's blocking is just horrible. And the statement was last week watching Myles Garrett get his sack and then just kind of sail off into the sunset. Said it all for me right there that this team just doesn't want to win. They don't care. And they just want to get through the season and get the season over with. And hopefully Miami can just put that dagger in them and then we could just be done with it because this is just – I mean, there's a reason why this game got flexed out like 6 times. It's a horrible game. It's like the Saints-Raiders game. That's exactly what it's going to be like. But I cannot – normally I would pick Cleveland all the time. I can't do it today. I can't. Give me the Dolphins.
The Browns have broken, Jared Fatty.
I'm sorry, dude. It just
the fucking depressing thing I've ever heard in my life.
I'm sorry, man. That's just where we're at right now. There's nothing really to get excited about. Like, what are we going to get excited about? Njoku, he's going to be out this game, I believe. I think he's out this game. I think who else is out? There's a couple other people out this game, and it's like Tillman's out this game. It's just there's nothing there. There's nothing there. This team is just given up on the coaching staff, given up on the organization, and the organization doesn't even know what to do right now because they restructure their quarterback that's not playing and kick the can down the road for another year. So who knows what the hell they're doing?
All right.
And Njoku is out. Okoronkwo is out. Cedric Tillman all out for week 17.
Well, Cedric Tillman, he's out anyway when he does play. So what's the difference there?
He had a little small run with James, but Jerry Jeudy kind of took the limelight as he should have.
I don't know, guys. I'm going to go with the Browns. I disagree. It's not as bad as my buddy Jared's over here making it out to be. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not good, but Jesus, it's not that depressing. I mean, DTR's playing for a lot right now. Jerry Jeudy's still balling out. I think the Dolphins are just going to be absolutely atrocious playing in Cleveland. I know it's a little warmer up there today, but massive wind advisory in Northeast Ohio. So that's going to factor into this passing game as well. And then it comes down to the rushing game. Both bad. So the over-under's set. But I think with that being said, I do think it's a really close game. And the Browns notoriously blow their draft position in the last 2 weeks of the season when they're in this boat. I can't tell you, Fatty, how many times we've been around at 3 wins going into the last week. It's locked in, and then they win that game and they fall to 12th in the draft. Like, this has that all written all over it. We'll win the game we're not supposed to win that we don't want to win because that's Browns football, and that's strictly the mathematical equation behind my pick of the Browns +3.
I'm going to love this when I see the video of you later eating a bowl of chili or something that you're going to make for $10, and you're going to be sitting there and be like, I should have listened to Fatty. I should have listened to Fatty.
Nope.
Well, guys, so I'm a little bit I'm in both camps. I believe that the sky kind of is falling. I have legitimate doubts that the Browns could beat their own dicks right now.
I like it.
That's okay.
I'm down for it.
The Dolphins without Tua are one of the worst fucking teams in football.
Terrible.
They are awful without Tua. We have actually seen DTR play. We've seen him score a couple points sometimes. Jerome Ford's having a decent little run. I like the way he's been more decisive in his runs, getting upfield, making that one cut and going. That's been a nice progress to see instead of him dancing so damn much. I'm going Browns +3.5. I do think that the organization is in a really bad spot. The contract restructure with Deshaun had to happen. It makes 100% why it happened. With money.
I got something to say on that.
Go ahead, Tony.
I don't know. Everyone's making a big deal that we worked his contract. Listen, he's still under contract for 2 years, and now we don't have to pay him $125 million dead cap 1 year. We literally split it up over 2 years so we can still afford to sign $20-30 million of new talent those 2 years. Without that contract being redone, we were really toast. You're going to have to pay people 1-year deals with fat signing bonuses to come to Cleveland. Now you can offer some 2-year deals again to some veterans that are looking for a little stability to get some to get some in here. So I actually like to see the Deshaun contract rework because it just, what else could you do? You were up against
nothing.
And here's the thing. Yeah, he's in the roster. He's still not coming back till halfway through the year with an Achilles injury. And by then, hopefully somebody comes in and steps up and then it doesn't mean anything anymore. Then you actually have a chance to trade the dude because his contract's not completely shit.
Yeah, I agree. This is a move that had to happen. I know people don't like it. People don't want him to play. I'm sure.
Yay! But I'm just
because the game will keep us competitive. That's it. That's all I give a shit about is winning football games.
Yep, that's where I'm at.
So, but Browns +3.5. I don't. If they win, great. There's a very good chance they could win because the Dolphins are so bad. But even if it's 3 and a hook. That seems like the better bet anyways.
No team is going to trade for that trash from running bald, man. Also, we can pick up Cousins. Hey, look, Cousins, if and when he hits the market, because apparently his trade value is absolute trash as well from the reports, he might be able to wait or play for pennies. I mean, it wouldn't be normal for Kirk Cousins, but, you guys could have
he's still getting paid
quarterback
$5 million next year, so let's not cry poor Cousins. I mean, he's going to get paid $5 million to not play for a team next year. I mean, that's the most Kirk Cousins stat of all time.
He's going to the Super Bowl, or excuse me, the Hall of Fame, just for his contract negotiation.
Bag getter.
Him and
Dak, all-time bag getter, dude.
Yeah, him and Dak are like the bag kings, man. Give me them bags.
All righty. Next up, we're going to go to my game. Green Bay Packers going into Minnesota. This one hopefully should be a good matchup here. Minnesota favored -1.5 points at -105 odds. Or you can give those points to the Packers at -115 odds. Over under at 48.5. Huge implications for the Vikings. Not as much for the Packers other than kind of playing spoilers because the Packers are locked into the playoffs. I don't think they even have a chance technically to win the North. So they're looking at either being the 6 seed or the 5 seed as of right now. But for the Vikings, if they win out, not only will they get the 1st seed in the NFC, but they'll win the NFC North because they play the Lions next week. Big playoff implications in this game. Vikings took it to the Packers in Green Bay earlier in the year. Green Bay now is just turning it on. Like, I don't like talking good about the Packers at all. It is not in me. But they are playing a good brand of football right now. They are running the rock really well. Josh Jacobs looks outstanding. And they're taking the ball away from Jordan Love and letting him just hand it off, run the ball. It is a strong script. The defense is starting to look better for that Packers team as well. No Jair Alexander. He's still a big, fat fucking pussy. He doesn't want to go up against JJ. It happens every year now. At the end of the year, he talks mad trash, and now he's going to gritty, and then he does not want to play against JJ. So I get it. I wouldn't want to go up against the best wide receiver in the league either. But look, this is going to be a tough game. This is a tough game for my Vikings team. The Packers are playing really well. I'm going to go ahead and take the points, 1.5 points from the Packers here. I hope my Vikings win. I want us to win, but I think that this is going to be close to down to the wire. And with that, the Packers plus 1.5 could be the winners in this one. Maybe it's a little bit of my old school, like the Vikings always let me down. They haven't been letting me down this year, but
I would say, are you going reverse psychology here? Are you taking them here? So regardless of the outcome, you're like, you've hedged one way or another to get a little bit of satisfaction of this game?
Not really. I honestly think that this game could be really close. I'm more fearful for this game this week than playing Detroit next week because of how beat up Detroit is. Like, their offense is scary, but we hung it out with the Lions earlier in the year, and it took a last-minute field goal in order for the Lions to beat us. Now the Lions are beat up. I think that we got a good opportunity, even going into Detroit next week, to beat them. This Green Bay team right now, they've gotten hot. They've been rolling over people. Some of the same competition that we've played, they played Seattle and beat the piss out of them. We beat Seattle, and it took that last-minute Justin Jefferson touchdown in order to get that win. The Packers are playing really good right now. The Vikings are still playing their brand of football. Nuke Darnold looks like the shit, and we'll see what happens with him going on in the future. But it's going to be a close one, in my opinion. And so maybe it is a little bit more of me being a Vikings fan for my life and knowing they like to let me down late on in the year. So that's what I'm hedging against, to not have my emotions completely broken.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a little historical stat from our gambling as I go through this. When we disagree on the Vikings, the team that takes the Vikings wins. Just so you know, this little preface. Tony, where are you going in this game?
Well, after that was the most field goal never missed a kick all season jinx I've ever heard. Give me the Packers. No, I am going to take the Packers.
Mike.
I don't think it's determines who's the better team. I do think Minnesota, at home, I think they've been pretty healthy all year. Evo, you can probably confirm with that. It would not surprise me if Minnesota. I just have this gut feeling that Jordan Love's going to come in and get a really big victory today, but that does not mean that Green Bay is the better team. I just think that I just have this feeling, and sometimes you got to go with what your head thinks. I just like Jordan Love and the Packers today. They've been playing really good football. They're still it seems like they just got this chip on their shoulder that they're still just trying to prove that they know they're the young team, but they're willing to go in and take on anybody. I think they're one of their youngest rosters in the league, but that's led to some really hungry wins this year. And I don't know. I just think, and it's kind of weird. I don't want to think that I'm burying Evo's team up here, but I do think Minnesota has overaccomplished this year. And I think most Vikings fans would agree that they would not expect to be in this spot at the start of the year after losing McCarthy 10 days into his career. So it's been awesome for Minnesota. I think that they get humbled a little bit to get that loss, to get tuned up for the playoff run. So give me Green Bay.
Jared, where are you going?
I just think this is Minnesota's year. Everything's gone right for them. Sam Darnold's reassurance, reemergence back into the limelight and the way he's playing. I got to take the Vikings on this one.
That dude's about to get a bag.
The reason why is because I want next week's game against the Lions to be absolutely amazing. And I think for that to happen, Minnesota needs to win this game. So I'm going to go Minnesota.
All right.
A couple roster notes here before you go, Mike. Christian Watson expected to be out for this game, so their deep threat receiver for the Packers not going to be in. Vikings, Ivan Pace and Harrison Smith both expected to play. Ivan Pace has been on the IR the past 4 weeks. He's our main run stopper. You see these past 4 weeks, our run defense has suffered quite a bit. And that's completely sided with Ivan Pace being injured. He'll be back in this game. Also, Harrison Smith very possibly could be the Hitman's last game at home in Minnesota, at least regular season, unless we win out, then, home field advantage. But look, Harrison Smith, one of my favorite safeties all time. I think that he should be a Hall of Famer. He's got stats better than Polamalu, just doesn't have the credibility because he doesn't have the hair. Love Harry the Hitman. I'm hoping for a big game from him today as well.
All right. So, Jared, I'm going to one thing real quick. You said the reemergence of Sam Darnold.
Well, there was never really a reemergence.
To have a reemergence.
I know.
I would call this the emergence of Sam Darnold.
Bad English on my part.
No, but I think that's what this is, though. This is Sam Darnold's emergence. We are starting to see a guy who is playing really confident in a really good system for him. And your team is getting healthier. I think this Packers team is a really good running team. I am not high on Jordan Love. I have never been high on Jordan Love, and I know you haven't either, Evo. Some of that is because I think you're a Vikings fan, but there are very serious accuracy concerns when we talk about Jordan Love's play. If they do not run the ball at a very high efficiency today, I do not think that they keep this thing close, let alone win it. I think they lose by a touchdown if they don't run the ball really, really well. Ivan Pace coming back, Harrison Smith being out there, who is also really good down in the box, I think makes a huge difference. I'm dropping the points for the Vikings minus 1.5, and we'll see if that trend of when we disagree on the Vikings, what happens.
All righty. Next up, Falcons and Commanders.
Hop into the next game. Tony, I know you had to get ready to bounce out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much for joining us. Before you get out of here, though, please tell the people where they can follow you. Thank you very much, and all of that. The Dude Network. I love this concept. I love this idea.
I appreciate it. We're up over 300,000 followers across all platforms. So any major platform that you consume your content on, just search The Dude Network. Chip and I, we do gambling Thursday night called the Late Night Parlay. It starts 9:00 Eastern. For this crowd in here on the gambling side, we do live betting, degenerate late night live betting. It's a good time. You learn a little bit about betting strategy, just different things we do. We make educated picks. We don't just shoot from the hip for funsies. So we try to make educated bets if you want to tune into another gambling show. But thedudenetwork.com will also get you connected. So go and head over to there and subscribe to our podcast. That would be fantastic and a big help to me. Thank you guys for the awesome show and the awesome opportunity. Jared, thanks for hooking this up. And shout out to Evo for actually sounding like a Viking. I think that's been the most coolest thing of this whole show. That I feel like I was actually talking to Skull.
That voice.
Skull.
I am Norwegian, man. I come from the north, the land of the ice and snow.
Dude, you look like Lars Hendrickson. That's what your name should be, Lars Hendrickson, awesome. or Igor Slavichkovich. Something with like
Swanson.
Yeah. But hey, Mike, nice meeting you, man. Cleveland.
Hey, you too, Tony.
Hey, any way we can grow this network, man. You guys need anything? Let me know. Appreciate you guys.
Hey, absolutely, Tony. Thank you very much, brother. Enjoy your Sunday of football. Feel better as well.
Go Browns. Go Vikings. There we go.
Cool.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, man. Shout out, Tony. That was awesome. Jared, thank you for hooking all of that up. We got a couple of games left. Let's roll through these. Evo, what's our next game, brother?
All righty. Next up, we got the Falcons and Commanders. This is what we were told earlier. Need to hit the over on this one. Falcons getting 3.5 points going into Washington versus Jaden Daniel and the Commanders, who just took down that Eagles team. Minus 3.5 points at minus 105 odds for the Commanders, over under 46.5. Hopefully should be an interesting one. Michael Penix going out there versus Jaden Daniels, two rookie quarterbacks. It was brought up earlier. This could be a very fun matchup to watch if you're not wanting to watch my Vikings-Packers game. You know where I'll be tuned in. Thoughts on this game, fellas?
Jared, go ahead, brother.
I like the commies in this game, just because it's a home game. Commanders playing well. I love Jaden Daniels. I wish he would be playing for the Browns. But that will never happen. But no, I just love the quarterback in this one. I think Jaden Daniels is something special, and he'll be something special going forward. And I think he'll take over. So give me the Commanders.
For me, man, I'm also on the Commanders here, and it is because of Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels has had kind of that big showcase win, huge fourth quarter comebacks. He's kind of showing that he can win in any facet. Legs, he wins with his arm. He can do fourth quarter comebacks. He can throw the fucking Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary. The man can do it all. Now, we haven't seen all of that from Michael Penix yet. I believe that Michael Penix has the ability to do a lot of those things. I love Michael Penix. He's part of my Lineman Lounge parlay today because I also expect him to have a good game. But I think when it comes down to it, roster for roster, I'm going to take the Commanders over the Falcons. Scary Terry is the best wide receiver on the field. Doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion, how good that man is. And now that he has got a dude slinging it, I really like this Commanders team. They were able to knock off an Eagles team being down, and the Falcons are not going to be able to generate a pass rush that really moves him off his spot. And if you're not going to move him off his spot, he'll fling it all over the yard. And if you find a way to actually move him, the Falcons don't get home, and Jaden Daniels breaks the pocket and runs all over.
Well, before everyone locks their picks in, this is our one game of this week that weather could definitely play a factor here. Right now, definite rain showers, 96% chance of rain, 13-mile-per-hour winds in Washington in this game. And that is what's going to really factor my pick in this game. So you've got decent running game there for Washington from Jaden Daniels, from Robinson. Like, you've got decent running backs there, but you also have Jaden Daniels, who's used to playing in a dome in college. We haven't seen him out in the elements like this really yet. Versus Falcons, you have Penix. He's used to playing Pacific Northwest. You have Bijan Robinson, who's a really solid running back, and Tyler Algier. I'm leaning towards the Falcons on this one. I was going to go with Washington because I think that right now they're the better team, and we haven't seen enough from Penix yet to know that he's going to be able to lead this team in pressure situations away from home. Obviously, he's only got the one game there in Atlanta, but because this game is going to be a weather game, there's going to be the rain. There might be more of a focus on the run. That could help the Falcons defense a little bit, which we know has been porous, especially in the past game. Give me the Falcons plus the 3.5 points in this one.
All right, Falcons plus 3.5, a little descent there. Evo, let's take it into that Monday night game, big dog.
All righty. For Monday night, we have Detroit Lions. Monday night. Detroit Lions, San Francisco 49ers in San Fran. San Francisco's getting 3.5 points at minus 115 odds. You can drop those points for the Lions at minus 105 odds. Over under of 50.5. Expected to be a lot of scoring in this one. Where are we going?
Listen, talking about two teams that are perpetually beat up on the year. 49ers have shut guys down. The Lions are still playing for a lot, though. Still playing for that 1 seed potentially next week. They have to win this game. The 49ers are not playing for shit. They're done. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Lions. Drop the points. Could it maybe be close? Sure, but the 49ers don't have anything to play for but their money. They're going to try to go out there. They'll put up a little bit of a fight, but the Lions are going to be foot on throat because that's the way they play. Mm-hmm. Dan Campbell does not give a fuck. He is going to put the hammer down. Give me the Lions. Jared, where are you going?
I agree. Give me the Lions. I love Dan Campbell. Love him as a coach. You know, everybody made fun of him during the opening press conference. Like, we're going to take a bite of a kneecap and all this stuff. And guess what? His team's playing like that. His team is playing like he wants them to play. And Jared Goff, can't say enough about him. And just what an amazing story Detroit is, and turning everything around and getting possibly playing for, the AFC North title with, against Minnesota and everything. But give me the Lions, man. Lions are playing fantastic.
All right, Evo, where are you going?
Same way, man. Look, I want to see this matchup next week, Lions versus Vikings, where both of us are sitting at 14 wins and have it really be that pivotal moment for the NFC North that, the teams have played so good this year, except for the Bears, but they've played so good this year. I want to see this NFC North show up and show what we are, and that involves the Detroit Lions winning this week to make next week super, super special. Lions minus the points. Again, San Fran, they're not playing for a lot right now. They've shut down a lot of players. Their injury report is vast for this week of guys who aren't going to be playing. The Lions, while I like the way that Dan Campbell has energized this team. I like the, never take the foot off the gas mentality. I think that it could be their downfall come playoff time, but I don't think he's going to stop doing what he's doing now. Not when the 1 seed, not when the NFC North is up on the line. He's going to continue to push it. Lions minus 3.5.
Lions minus 3.5. And that does it for the week. I'll pop those up here one last time before we say goodbye to our friend Jared. So here we go. Picks for the entire week. I believe we picked up there at Browns. We're both Evo on the Browns plus 3.5. Jared, I'm sorry. That they have broken you so badly.
I just can't even.
Brother, I get it. I when you were talking, it's like, man, I feel it in my heart because they have done that to a lot of people. But I'm on the Vikings, Evo. We'll see what happens there, brother. I went Commanders, you went Falcons, both on the Lions, though, to finish off the week. Jared, thank you very much for joining us, man.
Of course, man.
We love you guys here on our show. Tell everybody who is tuning in where they can check you and everything that you guys do over there at Network 216 out.
We have the Man Cave Monday, Tuesday, and I believe Thursday on Network 216. We got the Scarlet and Gray podcast talking all Buckeye football. We have Across the Cavs talking anything Cleveland, which the Cavs are looking great right now, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
We also have Do Network through Thursday through Sunday with all their content. And then, of course, Legal Ham to the Face. We do it every Tuesday at 7, but this week we're doing Monday night at 8 o'clock because of the holidays. And we talk all Cleveland sports and talk about food. And you guys know how we talk about food.
Mm-hmm. I smoked a prime rib for Christmas.
Ooh, yeah.
I got some pictures I'll share with you guys. Papa figured some shit out.
Now, did you do the horseradish sauce with it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Man.
Got to have the horseradish sauce with it.
Slathered that bitch in butter the night before and let it sit in the fridge and then basted it in the butter. Woo! Man, it was good.
I feel my heart flutter right now. God, I love it.
Just went 6 to midnight.
That's what I think what Running Man is saying as well. Running Bald Man is talking about hookers and blow. So
he actually reads children's books that are naughty children's books that just
nice.
And he actually for Christmas Eve read Hookers and Blow Save Christmas on our show. So go check out his content on YouTube too, because he's amazing. I love him.
Hey, thanks for hopping in here, Running Bald Man. Shout out. But Jared, thank you very much, man. We'll let you get out of here. I know you got some stuff you needed to do, and then we'll finish this thing up, brother.
All right. Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Great show. Love everything you guys do. And anytime you need me, you just holler at me. I'll hop on anytime, okay?
All right. Appreciate you, Jared.
All right. See you guys.
Later.
All right, brother. So that's all the games, but we still have our Lineman Lounge parlay. Let's pop those bad boys up here. Whew. So, Evo, you hit one last week. I see you. We were thinking kind of similar things, maybe.
I saw your Hawkinson pick. I had it on mine, and I was like, no, we can't have exactly the same thing. So I looked at his, props for receiving yards, and I was like, 42.5, 50. I could go with the 50, bump my odds up a little bit there. But go ahead, tell the people about your parlay here.
Yeah, man. So listen, I told you guys, and it sounds like a lot of people agree with me. Big day possibly from Baker. It was over 240 was the number that we got earlier. There's some people saying 250. I like this number right here, 244.5. I think Baker has a big day. Also, listen, with the matchups happening out there in this game, extra attention is going to be paid to Justin Jefferson because Jair Alexander is not playing, which is going to open up Hawkinson for more yards, in my opinion, which is why I'm going there. And then I think we finally get that big game from Penix. Could have saw it last week, but the Falcons beat the shit out of the Giants, so it wasn't needed. I think he shows off his arm today, goes over 202.5. Get you plus 595 odds. Not a bad little parlay. I feel pretty comfortable with especially after having the people on that we had today. So, Evo, tell me about yours, brother.
So Flacco going back in there, being the starting quarterback, I've got him at over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Look, if they're going to do anything today, passing the ball, Flacco is going to be the guy to be able to do it. We know that Richardson isn't that passing quarterback there. He's the kind of run and miss his receivers when he throws the ball. So Flacco going out there, I expect a big day from Josh Downs and some of those other receivers. Flacco over a touchdown and a half, so 2 touchdowns or more. I could see that happening. Hawkinson, same thing. Look, JJ is going to get a lot of attention. So is Addison. Addison was able to tear that Packers team up earlier in the year. The thing is, Hawkinson was not out on the field. He was still on the IR for that first game. Right. When they start to take away JJ, Addison gets the ball. If they start to cover Addison, you can't cover everybody. That's going to open Hawkinson up. We saw it the last couple of weeks. He's becoming a little bit more of a safety blanket when those two guys are covered, where Sam has no problem getting the ball out to Hawkinson. 50 yards for Hawkinson, I think, is absolutely doable. So over 50 here. And then Jerome Ford, you brought him up when going over the Browns. He's been looking better recently. I've noticed because he's on my fantasy football bench. Over 53.5 rushing yards. He's going to get the primary amount of runs with your Browns team. I think that running the ball is going to be necessary today. 53.5, I think, is doable, especially if he decides to break a big one like he's did, a week or so ago.
Last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gotten at least a 20-yard game each of the last couple of weeks. One, he broke for 60 something or something crazy like that. But yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. Flacco, if he's going to be in, he's probably going to throw a couple touchdowns. Might throw some picks, but he's probably going to get a couple of tuds in there as well. Obviously, I like Hawkinson, and we talked about Jerome Ford. All right. That sounds good to me, brother. We got anything else to go over before we get out of here?
No, man. I hear the kids running around. I got to go start to wrangle them in, see about breakfast. And we got them Vikings shirts for Christmas.
Hell yeah.
So hopefully we'll have the whole fam rocking Vikings gear. I haven't had that here before, so that'll be pretty cool. And try to get them into football, because right now it's more about the video games than it is the sports. But gotta show them the right path and how to follow teams that'll break your heart. So yeah,
that's why I made my entire family Browns fans.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because Amber started out as a Broncos fan, but that shit wasn't going to fly. I hate the Broncos.
Well, Hannah's a Broncos fan too.
I know.
What a wild game last night. Bo Nix, that pass at the end. Damn.
Oh, man. We got a lot of things to cover on our recap show on Tuesday night. But that is the next time that we'll be back, Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Special thank you to the guys that joined us today. Chip, Tony, Jared. Check those guys out. That was 3 overs, the Dude Network and Network 216. Thank you very much to those gentlemen. It was a pleasure having them. But with that, we're going to get the fuck out of here. Guys, we do this every week, and we get to continue to do this, and we want to continue to do this because of the love that you guys show us. So thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for your time. It's the most valuable thing that you have. So anytime that you give some of it to us, we are forever grateful. But we're going to get the fuck out of here. Evo, give the people one last word.
Skol Vikings, take down the Packers at home today, baby.
All right. I'm also pulling for your boys. I don't know why you bet the other way, but guys, we're getting out of here. I'm Mike. That's Evo. This is the Lineman Lounge. See you.